Welcome to the No Horsing Around Tailgate. Guys, I'm just so excited. Football is back. We can finally talk about real games. We've been talking about offseason. We're talking about what are we going to do at the quarterback position? What are we going to do in the draft? How's this team going to come together? How's Matt Ryan going to play? He's still got a lot of tread on the tires. Well, all those things get answered today. I mean, we're going to watch a game live. It seems like that, Frank Reich's going to play everybody but JT. All I can say is football is back, and I wanted to bring on one of the guys I've been checking out here lately, and I've really started to like his show, JDW, man. How you been? How you doing? Are you jacked up for this game to see real football?
Oh man, I've been phenomenal. I can't wait to watch Colts football. It's been too long, the offseason lasts forever and then the season just goes by like the blink of an eye. But
Yeah.
I'm just excited. It's preseason week 1. We have a whole season to look forward to of Colts football. Matt Ryan, another new quarterback, but I like the new approach they're taking with playing them more because we need a hot start. These first 2 games, we need to start 2-0, at least 1-1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you got to jump right out of the gates. I love the approach, the different approach, practicing a little bit harder, going out there and doing, and taking this, turning that notch up a little bit. Reed Smith says, let's go. Hey, Reed, thank you so much for hopping on. Guys, light us up in the comments here. We want to throw you up. We want to shout you out, show you a little bit of love. Ask either one of us questions, both of us questions. Hell, we don't care, man. Want to talk about a few things that I just want to hit on, expectations, what we're looking for in this game. One of the groups that I'm going to be watching for, is I'm going to definitely be watching that wide receiver room heavy today. I want to see where they're at. I want to see how everything's going. I just want to see – I just want to see what they got there. Do they need to go out and get a veteran? Or do we have enough? That's a question that I want to know. Interesting. I've never even had a chance to ask you this question. What is your feelings and thoughts on the wide receiver room? Just who will you be looking at as we go into this game against Buffalo today?
Okay, so I really want to be optimistic, and I really want to be excited, and I've got myself very excited over the offseason, but I have to tone it back a little bit. We know what Michael Pittman is. We know Michael Pittman is a very good wide receiver. We know what he is. We're not worried about him. We're worried about what's behind him, the experience behind him. Could Reggie Wayne be that veteran presence that Chris Ballard hopes, or is Chris Ballard going to have to bring in a veteran? Alec Pierce, love Alec Pierce, and I love that they've been sticking Stephon Gilmore on him because going from Stephon Gilmore, top 5 corner in the league, to number 2s in the league, because mostly number 1 is going to be on Pitt, it's going to be a big difference. He's going to know how to exploit these little things that other cornerbacks aren't doing that Gilmore does. So Pierce, I'm really excited for Pierce. I think Pierce, we really need to watch Pierce today. I think he's going to have a day. And how is Campbell doing on his injury? I heard that he's been practicing a little bit more, right?
Yeah, so he's doing some practicing. Big shout out to Big Vino, man. He's ready. Like he's going to be on the field. Me too, brother. Me too. I'm ready to go. Ready to see some live action. Yeah, I think Paris Campbell to be all right. I mean, he had that. We posted yesterday. If you guys didn't get a chance to go see it, that catch he had was a really, really nice comeback catch. Kind of went up in the air and kind of pulled it out of the sky. Also want to shout out Marsh, my man, has been in all
Marsh, what's going on?
Last couple times. Dude, you're doing it for us, man. I really appreciate that so as well. I tell you what, I want to see who that we all know who that 5 receiver, that 4, our first 4. So we know Paris Campbell, we know Doolin, we know Pierce, we know Pittman Jr. is probably going to make this team. How's Kiki Coty going to do? A Michael Young Jr., you got DeMichael Harris out there. You've got some other guys that are vying for that 5th spot. I'm a little disappointed that Michael Strawn's been hurt. He didn't get a chance to have his breakout year, But that being said, it should be a pretty cool game. And it looks like we're going to get about 1 quarter out of them. Is there anything that you're looking for in particular outside of the wide receiver group? You say, hey, man, I just want to see this guy play, or I just want to see this group play.
Isaiah Rodgers.
Okay.
I want to see Isaiah Rodgers. I love the kid. He works hard. He's always going at it. With him having Stephon Gilmore teaching him now, I'm excited to see what Isaiah Rodgers do. Also, the kid from Maryland, Nick Cross. I've heard he has had a pretty damn good camp. I'm excited for him. Maybe Jojo Dolman gets his chance to keep on moving up a little bit. I've heard he's had a really good camp. But the offense side of things, really, wide receiver is biggest question for me. And then tight end behind Mo Ali Cox. I want to see Jelani Woods. I heard Jelani was on and off. I heard Kylan was on and off, I think. But I heard Ogletree has had some production. A guy
For
that we did not expect to come in and make such an impact. It's training camp. Yeah, I get it. We get it. But nonetheless, your 5th-round pick, you're not expected to do much. When you exceed expectations, you bring a new level of respect. So it means he
Yeah.
works hard. I'm excited to see Ogletree again, in some live action.
I would agree with that as well. Guys, light us up in the comments. Let us know who you want to see. Like, is there any particular player? I'm interested to see how Faison plays. I've never seen Faison really in live
Yeah.
bullet actions. You know what I mean? Like, is Faison that steady, consistent corner that we've all heard about in training camp? I'm an Isaiah Rodgers fan. I'm always going to be that way just because he takes the football away, man. Like that is so special
Love
when we're
that kid.
talking about playmakers. He's a rare guy, man. I mean, he's so rare when it comes right down to it because he can flip that field. No, he does a little bit of gambling. He'll jump routes and get beat
I
every once
like that, though.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
like
mean,
that, though.
but also he recovers very well. Like that's one
Oh,
thing
yeah.
he did really, really well. Marsh said he wants to see Mo Alley and Campbell and
I
stay
like
healthy.
it.
No doubt about it. Mo Alley looks like he's going to get featured in this offense, especially earlier on. I want to see Drew Ogletree like in live games.
Yeah.
I want to see what he does against people who are not Indianapolis Colts, right? Like I want to see what he does, and he probably is going to get a fair amount of plays, because he's that. I guess first depth chart comes out, he's that tight end 3 right now, even in front of Jelani Woods.
He's in front of Jelani.
I believe so on that first initial depth chart. We can look that up here in a second if we want to, but I think that Jelani's 4th on the depth chart. I think right now they have Mo Alley, Kyle. I have Granson 2. They have Ogletree 3. Jelani Woods 4. So they're going to get some. They're going to get some live bullets. And to see both of them on the field at the same time. Nick Foles out there throwing the football. I don't know. Maybe Sam Ellinger will be by that time. Again, whomever's jumped in late, Jonathan Taylor is not expected to play. So that's just one thing you got to keep an eye on. Like that running back room. You've got Lindsey, who I think is a very good third
I
running
love that
back.
kid.
I mean,
Love
dude,
Lindsey.
I think he had a 1,000-yard season back with Denver a couple years ago. So that's you want to talk about an insurance plan. That is an insurance plan, man.
He was an undrafted free agent. He made the Pro Bowl in his rookie year, and he was undrafted.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. I mean, you're doing all right, man. If you're undrafted, you're going to the Pro Bowl. So Spriggs got cut yesterday. I know that's a little bit of news.
Yeah, I saw that.
Huge news, but it's a veteran. Probably Chris Ballard doing him a solid. Here's a guy who Ballard probably said, I know he's not going to make the team. Let's give him a chance to land on another team, and actually get to play football this year, which is kind of a cool thing. Question for you, kind of not training camp related, but I would ask you this. You think Quentin Nelson gets a deal done before week 1?
Oh, I don't know. It's stressful because, we want to go out and get all these other guys, but until you sign Big Q, you really want to get him done first when you know how much money you have for the year. But also, you don't really want to tie yourself anything to too big with other players, not Big Q. I'm down for 4 or 5 years Big Q. We all know that. But tying yourself to other players is a little risky. You have to pay JT, you have to pay Pittman soon. So I don't know. That's a tough question. I can't answer that myself. If I really had to give an answer here, I say mid-season maybe.
Okay.
Mid-season.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you feel like his camp has a kind of all of the negotiating power, right? Like he's going to get paid no matter what. What's the rush? Maybe they, you know what, we're gonna give it another offseason and see if we can't get some sort of a bidding war started.
Yeah,
Marsh
like they're gonna think.
Marsh says J-Dub knows that I'm an Ellinger.
Yep. Marsh loves himself some Sam Ellinger.
He loves himself some Sam Ellinger. There's no doubt about that.
Great kid, great work ethic. Love the kid.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with that. And there's a guy, in Ellinger that's probably fighting for the practice squad at this point. We went outside Nick Foles of 2 years in the offseason. I don't know that we're going to keep 3 quarterbacks this year, especially when you have 2 veterans. It doesn't make a lot of sense when it comes down to it. Another guy I want to see is Eric Johnson today. I mean, I was down there.
That's great.
I was down there actually on that Saturday practice on the field, and I'm telling you, man, Like that dude he is explosive. He could be an amazing backup for Grover. I mean, this year, like he has a really, really nasty spin move, a lot of power and speed. That combination, he could be one of those guys in preseason that Colts Nation falls in love with. Eric Johnson is really, really kind of come on. JoJo though, JoJo the man, you know what I mean? Like he literally is, Wisconsin, Chris Ballard from Wisconsin, loves the Wisconsin roots. I don't know, man. I think this guy's got a chance. He's a core special teamer. Your thoughts on JoJo? Have you even had a chance to even see any of his highlights from training camp?
No, I haven't seen many highlights. I wanted to go this year so bad, but just ending school and stuff, it was a little difficult to go and getting stuff for the podcast. But next year, definitely gonna see if I could come out to Indy for a day or two and catch some training camp. I'm actually seeing about right now about going to the Colts and Steelers game, the Monday night game. I love to go to that. I'm gonna try, but
okay. Well, yeah, we got to get you down here, man. We got to get you down here, and so
I'd
you
love
can
to meet y'all.
Yeah, you can tailgate with all of us.
Yeah.
We can have a great time and just kind of, check it all out. Guys, also in the comments, Marsha's doing a great job letting us know. You guys can fire us up too, man. If there's anything that you're looking for as far as training camp as far as today in this game, live bullets, let's know who you think. Are you guys for Matt Ryan playing? Are you guys on the side of the fence where you say, well, you know what, if Matt comes out and has a great first series, just get him out? I think you probably just let him play. This guy likes to play, when it comes right down to it. I mean, football is, injuries are a part of football. Sucks. Nobody likes it. But at the end of the day, guess what?
That's just the only way you're going to get better.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way. And what they've done in the last, 4 or 5 years has not worked. Like you're coming out, you're starting slow. You probably even run the risk of being injured just as much in that regard as well. When it comes right down to it. So, yeah, I mean, Matt Pryor, Bernard Ryman might be a nice thing. Interested in just your thoughts in Matt Pryor, as far as Ryman on that side. Do you like Ryman? Do you like Pryor? Who would you go with at this point?
Man, I didn't see too much in training camp, but from my opinion, I would give Matt Pryor the nod to start. He played well last year. give him his shot. And I heard he was okay in training camp. I heard he had his bumps and bruises, and Unique and Aqua handled both of them pretty good. So, but Matt Pryor, I think Matt Pryor gets the nod because he's been here last year. I think he deserves a shot. If he gets injured, if he starts to not play well, throw Raymond in there because if you keep Matt Pryor that's struggling out there, I'd rather have a young rookie with a lot of potential struggling getting those valuable reps in.
Yeah, and we got a comment. Makes me nervous. We got to start out fast and stop these.
Yes, we do.
Makes everybody nervous. Keep your fingers crossed.
Just think about the first 4 weeks. We have Houston in week 1. We don't play good in week 1, no matter who we play, no matter how good we are. Doesn't matter. We always lay an egg. Week 2, go down to Jacksonville. We have to put the past, behind us, and we have to start 2-0. Because if we lose 1 or 2 of these games, we're going to KC. Now, chances are, if Colts do lose to worst case scenario, they will go to KC and win. We know how the Colts are. They would do something like that, but they need to come out 2-0 because if you start 0-2, you're not just 0-2 overall. You're 0-2 conference and division.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, you almost have 2 layups to start the season. You're playing the 2 worst teams in your division. Obviously, they're on the road. But you want to start off 2-0 before you come back and play that first home game against Kansas City this year because no one knows if we're going to win that game. Colts Blood says I'm excited to see Paris Campbell. I am too, brother. Paris Campbell, stay healthy, my friend. You know what I mean? Like just be, just do not, just protect yourself out there. It's got so much potential in a contract year. You just wish the best for a guy like that. He's had just some really, really, really unfortunate, really unfortunate injuries. Can't lose to Jacksonville and Houston in the first 2 weeks. I couldn't agree more. Jacksonville's going to be the revenge game, though. I just don't see how you have a letdown game in that game based on what happened last year. That was one of the most disgusting losses that I've been a Colts fan for over 30 years, man. And I'm dealing with that still, honestly. Like that was just, God, And they didn't just get beat. I mean, they got literally
Yeah,
obliterated from the jump, man.
they
I
didn't
mean,
deserve to make it. If
no,
you can't get past the Jacksonville team that has what 2-3 wins and
worst team in the NFL.
yeah,
I mean, literally the worst team.
perennial number one overall pick.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and it was a oh my gosh, it's just a complete meltdown. All of our players just didn't show up for that game. So and in Houston, I mean, here's a team who's going to probably be a little bit better coach this year, but at the same time, there's not a lot of talent on that team. If you're not able to go out there and win that game, you know, whew, I mean, Colts blooded. Fun fact right here: Matt Ryan has never lost to the Jags.
I like that. I like
That is
that. Matt Ryan.
Matt
Come
Ryan.
on.
Well, hey, my man, keep the undefeated streak going this season.
Yes.
Hey, I went on record. We did a record prediction. I think about actually a week ago today. I had Coach Loyalist from Coach Law podcast on here. We did a record prediction. I went on record and picked us a perfect 6-0 in the division this year. Like, I know that sounds crazy.
No, I don't think that's far. I don't think that's far fetched. I think we are by far and away. I'm not trying to be cocky or anything. I think we are by far and away the most complete roster in this division.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think you're so right. And I think that obviously the Titans are going to be our biggest foe. But what we saw from, Malik Willis, I mean, in that second Titans game, we have them in week 4, but that second Titans game, I'm not even sure that Ryan Tannehill's the starter. It might be a Malik Willis insertion, depending on how the season goes. Rookie quarterback, you pin your ears back and you go after him and put pressure on him as well. And we haven't played well in Jacksonville. Very good point. You got to shake off that bad juju. We just, for whatever reason in Jacksonville, we just don't come to play. That being said, you're definitely going to want to. Fast start is imperative, and I think that's why we're playing these. We're going to play our starters some more today, and then the Titans, man. I mean, they are always a tough foe. And as much as I hate them, as much as I hate some of their antics, scrape in the middle of the field, dancing on people's logos and stuff like that, they're well coached. They don't usually beat themselves,
right?
And they're built on that run game with Derrick Henry, as well as a complimentary quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. He's fit that mold so far, so good this year. I think you see I think you're going to realize how good A.J. Brown was for them, and getting rid of him.
He was phenomenal.
I mean, and I look at today against the Bills, Josh Allen's not going to play, but it's more about setting the tone. You know what I mean? And Coach Blood asked, how do you think Gus Bradley's defense will look? It'll look different. First of all, I think you're going to see some real differences. First of all, you're going to see that single high safety. You're going to see that double wide 9 on the outside edge. You're going to see your defensive cornerbacks playing a little bit more up on people. There's not going to be the soft coverage that you're used to from the Matt Eberflus, regime. A little more game specific, a little bit more, as far as we're not going to play that zone. I mean, it's going to be a variation of a zone, but it's more of a cover 3 variation. It's a little stickier. So I think you're going to see quite a bit when it comes right down to it. As far as that goes, I think this Gus Bradley defense has a chance to be pretty cool. I'm going to throw Marsh's stuff up. And also, big shout out to Fredro. He's hopped on a couple of our live streams.
Fredro. I don't know who he is.
I like my man, Fredro. Let's see. Marsh says, I'm absolutely for Matty Ice starting. Not completely sold on Foles, but we probably should have gotten him instead of Carson previously. But the young guy can learn from both. I think you're right. I think you stash Sam Ehlinger on that practice squad if we're able to do that. We'll see as far as that quarterback. I think Nick Foles gets plenty of run today. I think he gets his fair chance. But we kind of know what we got with those two guys, right? Like, you're probably thinking 1 quarter for Ryan, 1 quarter for Foles. Maybe you come out there that very first possession in the second half and give it to Foles, and then just hand the keys over, to Sam Ehlinger, and just let's let those guys kind of fight it out. And as that goes. Yeah.
And that's what's nice about these two quarterbacks. We know what we're getting from play to play, from quarter to quarter, half to half. We're not getting these left-handed throws 3 yards deep in your end zone. You're not getting these stupid I feel Carson Wentz just threw up the ball and just said heck with it sometimes. He didn't really have, something in his head for it. Matt Ryan, if he throws a pick, it's not just, all for nothing. He's got something going in his mind. He's been in the league for this long, and
Yeah.
he's a potential Hall of Famer. Yeah, I would say a Hall of Famer for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely he gets it up here, right? Like that's the main thing with Matt Ryan. That's what
Leader
means so
too.
much. Marshman says, "I want a big year from Payday Quiddy." I like that.
Payday.
Like
I
that,
like it.
and I want to see him get a payday. If you're asking me, uh, yeah, man, hit that like button. I would totally agree with that. Hit the like button, share it, and if you haven't, guys, if you hadn't had a chance to join the No Horsing Around family, go ahead and do that. And then when you're done with this live stream, hop over to my man JWD Sports Talk over on YouTube. Subscribe to him. Give him a chance. He's got some really good outlooks on football. He really has a good perspective. He does a really nice job over there. So give him a like, a subscribe, a share.
Appreciate
Part
that.
of his family as well. When it comes down to it, Nomadic Brian, one of our top most loyal fans in the world, beat the Bills again. Beat the Bills again. I would agree with that. We've had their number in the past. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't care if it's preseason. I don't care what it is. I'm competitive. I want to win every single game, every single time, every single play, and I want to walk out of this thing. I think the number one takeaway, we hit it at the very beginning, but I want to double back and reiterate it. The wide receiver room, there's a lot of question marks, right? There's a lot of question marks. Who is going to be the guy to step up? The day you have a chance to earn your spot on an NFL football roster, but if you don't come out and play, I think it's time to start looking towards some veterans. When it comes down to it. Wanted to know your thoughts on possibly bringing in a veteran down the road.
Yeah, so I'm all in for bringing a veteran in now. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer and all this, but I just think there needs to be a veteran, like on the field with the guys, like playing. I like the idea of having Reggie and being able to have all these young guys with higher ceilings. But I believe you need to have the right amount of veteran players and the right amount of young skilled players, a lot of potential. I just think you need at least one guy that can push you on the field, or if you're on the field and you're in the wrong spot, he could yell out or something, but T.Y. Hilton, the name comes up a lot,
For a reason, though,
yeah,
right?
yeah, but
actual reason.
And he's not what he was, we all know this, but in the big moments, he was the brightest last year. In the Cardinals game, he made a phenomenal catch. There were so many times where he just made phenomenal catches in the biggest moments. So I think T.Y., just because of how great he is in the big moments, he could teach these other guys to be great in the big moments, because there's a lot of other veterans out there. They're good in the big moments, but T.Y. has more experience, and he's become clutch. Now, OBJ has been another name that's been thrown out there, but he's not going to be ready until mid-October, or, early November. I'd be willing to take a shot, though. Even if Pierce is playing good or not, take him, because having Pierce, Pittman, Campbell, if Campbell's healthy, come on, man, I'd take OBJ. I know, some people think he's a locker room thing, but we've seen what this locker room is capable of. We've had Carson Wentz come through this locker room, man, and now it's stronger than ever. So Chris Ballard wasn't kidding that this locker room is strong, and that was
I will
his
agree.
goal.
Let's get to some of these comments. Cole Spud said Carson was working on his left-handed accuracy last year. Yeah, my man threw too many left-handed passes, and unfortunately, no more for this football team.
Nope.
And Marsh shows
you could throw
out to Marsh gives a shout out to Nomad. Hey, let's go. I love that. You guys are interacting with each other.
That's one of my favorite things about it too. When the fans interact and they have a good time talking to each other. Oh, that's
exactly. Nomad said, I would love to see good route running and catches in the first quarter. Game one is coming faster than you think. Nomad, no doubt about it. You get a shout out right now. JDW, he said he got nice totem pole. His wife gave him one last year. Okay, shout out right there. 1 hour left to the game. And then here's my wife right here. Oh, my favorite. This is my by the way, my absolute favorite Colts fan of all time. My wife, I met her on Twitter. She actually met me doing this stuff, doing this crazy live stream crap. She said T.Y. was great, but she is on the other side of the fence. So the Boyd household is divided. I'm for bringing T.Y. in. She's for letting him go. She thinks it's time to let that happen.
I'm
Wow.
on the fence. I mean, if he comes back, awesome. If he
Easy
doesn't,
now. Now don't start siding with her. He's
no,
on
no,
you.
no, I'm not.
So,
I'm not. But
we
no,
gotta give Ty one more. Give him a the red carpet treatment. Also, 1 hour left, boys. Look at that. We're about 1 hour away from actually kicking off. Then we've got a comment. Let's see. Would love to see Ty back and win both with him and Matt Ryan. A ship. Let's go. Hey, I'll tell you that right now. Pretty cool, man. I mean, pretty cool. If Ty could have his chance to have a deep run in the playoffs, I would love that for him. I want him to get his 10,000
yeah,
yards.
I want
I
that
just,
too. Yeah,
I
yeah.
just think he can still play football. Like that's the whole thing. Like if you told me T.Y. Hilton was on this group with this core with these wide receivers, I think he would be one of your best 5 wide receivers on this unit. Now, if you want to go out and bring somebody else in, give me a name. I've heard Will Fuller. Don't like it. He gets hurt all the time.
No,
Guy can
heck
only play
no.
a couple games. Colts Blooded wants to say, I wonder why he hasn't signed back yet. I'm going to tell you right now. I did a podcast with George Brimmer. If you guys want to go back and check it out, we talked about this a little bit. I have a sneaky feeling that Ty has been in communication, and Chris Ballard has never really shut this off and shut this down. He's been very transparent, very honest with people, letting them know that these communications have been ongoing. T.Y. Hilton, you would think, Jay, you let me know. You would think he could have already signed with another team if he wanted to, right? Like on
Oh
a
yeah, absolutely.
so I would have to think that he's holding out for an opportunity to come play here. His kid is here. His kid's a very good young football player. If anybody's not had a chance to go see T.Y. Hilton's kid's young
I've
highlights,
heard about him.
that dude is, I mean, he is going to be a superstar in this league when it
He's
comes
already
down.
got the horseshoe on his helmet. He's got
Yeah,
the
man.
Colts are calling his name already.
T.Y.'s turned out to be a pretty damn good family man. Like he really
Yeah.
likes this community. He really does. Now, I'm honest. If you tell me you got a healthy OBJ and a healthy Ty, I mean, I'm going to pick OBJ. That's business. That's football. But that's not a realistic choice, I think, right now. I mean, if you sign OBJ, you're probably going to get, 6, 7, 8 games out of him max. And you get that guy, that's an all chips in move. Not to steal anything from, Jim Irsay, but that's an all chips in type of move. Hey, we think we're just that close to having it. Colts Blood thinks he wants a $3 million deal to end his career. I'm all for it. $3 million. Let the man in. Let the man in.
Take it. Take it.
Any more thoughts for you as far as training camp? Anybody else that you're excited to see when it comes down to, in this I mean, we've mentioned so many of them already. I
want to see Kenny Moore.
Yeah. Okay.
He wants to pay up. He wants more money, and I want to see him do even better. I don't know how much better he could do, even though that Jacksonville game, he did have times where he struggled last year. He was a little inconsistent, but I think he's really gonna have a phenomenal year this year, and that slot is just gonna be, shut down.
Yeah, I think, yeah. We talked about this on the podcast too, and we're probably going to cover this extensively as the season goes on. Guys, I want you guys to wrap your head around this. In the next 2 years, and I don't envy Chris Ballard, not even a little bit, think about this right here. These are the guys he's going to have to think about re-signing. Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr., Yannick Ngakoue, Bobby Okereke, Kenny Moore. Did I say Michael Pittman Jr.? I mean, my gosh, man. I mean, that is a lot of good quality young football players. And when you draft as well as Chris Ballard does, guess what happens? When it's time to go back and re-sign those, you got to make some really, really, really hard choices, when it comes down to it. Let's get Marsh and Alex up here. I'll throw Alex up. Alex, thanks for hopping on. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed and joined the family, we kindly ask you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also hit that alert button. We do live streams like this during the No Horsing Around tailgate sessions as well as in season. Alex says, I want to see Nick Cross blow up some people in preseason, Bob Sanders style.
I want to see it.
I think you might get your wish, my man. I mean, he is a freak athlete. Anybody believes into the, to the RAF scores, that guy had off the chart scores coming out of college.
Give James Cook a big pop.
Exactly. Marshman, I know the comment's a bit out of place, but I've lived in Colorado for the past 43 years, but have been a Colts fan for 38.
38.
Damn, my man,
Damn.
Marsh, that is fantastic, man.
Last season was my 10th year, so it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
pretty cool.
That is cool, cool. How long will Ryan play? The preseason game and overall for the Colts? I think he plays a quarter a day. Sounds like this: a quarter a day, very little, maybe one series against the Lions, and then they're going to call the third game a dress rehearsal. Might play him a half. I don't know. I can't really climb inside of Frank Reich's mind when it comes down to that part of it. But it sounds like that those guys are going to actually play. And they're going to actually they're going to get some run. So that will be interesting for sure. Big signings to be made. Maybe so. I mean, hey, what if we saw Ty and then later in the year we dive right back in the pool and get OBJ? You know, like that would be a special.
I'll take both.
I mean, that's a nice little setup right there.
So
go ahead.
All right, so there's one thing that I do want to talk about a little bit. So it's been in the back of my mind for quite a while now. We're so excited about these players. We're so excited. We know what these players can do. Frank Reich, what is that sticking in the back of your head? Is that sticking with you a little bit, or is it just me? Like, are you a little worried about his play calling? Sometimes he uses personnel a little weird. He tries to be unpredictable, but I feel like when something's working, he tries to be fancy. Just keep doing what's working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I first of all, anybody who's ever listened to this show knows I am so for Frank Reich as far as his aggressive style.
I love the aggressiveness. I
know that there are moments where you can kind of go back and be critical, but to be fair to him, he's had a different quarterback every year. Like he's never really been able to be in a situation. Look, he had Andrew Luck, he made the playoffs. He had Phillip Rivers, he made the playoffs. He has Matt Ryan, he's got a very good chance. And that's the difference between having a franchise-level quarterback, and it's not just physical, man. I mean, it's mental. You have to have the guys who can read defenses. He stuck his neck out on the line for Carson Wentz. I think he probably, in hindsight, looking back at that, probably regrets that a little bit. Cost him a little bit. But I don't really have much of a problem with Frank as far as that goes. All I would say is this: he sometimes has a few head scratchers every once in a while, but I'm not sure that most coaches don't have a game or two during the season that they go through that. I'd like to see him play the position group of Nyheim Hines and Jonathan Taylor a little bit more. I just would. Would. That would
I'd
be
like to see some splits.
Yeah. I mean, I think Nyheim.
Both sides and
Nyheim is a rare, unique athlete. He's getting paid $6 million a year. You better use them, right? Like when it comes to it. Also, cool to see people from all around and see where all of the other Colts fans are from. Obviously, I'm in Indy, but we've had people from Iowa. You know, we've had people from Colorado. Last live stream, we had someone from the UK on there. You know, some Texas, pretty cool. Marsh, I miss little Bobby Sanders. Well, I think we all do. That guy body on the line every single time when it comes down to it. Before we hop off
like
here,
Andrew, man, you know, put his body out there for our entertainment every single weekend. Yet there's still people that just have the nerve to say he quit.
Exactly. Well, if you guys have any more things to say, we're going to stay on here for just a couple more minutes. Pop in your questions, last second questions. Give us a score prediction. You know,
score predictions. Okay.
Yeah. Impossible for me to guess. I will never make the mistake of doing a score prediction in a preseason game because you just don't know. I mean, I've seen preseason games that were 6-3, and then I've seen absolute shootouts. I want offense, man. Give me some offense today.
Yeah, I want some offense. I want to see these wide receivers make some big plays. Yeah. Is Tre'Davious White playing at all? I don't think so.
No,
right?
That'd be I think the Bills are in a little different situation. I don't think the Bills are going to play players quite to the same degree when it comes.
Yeah, they have system that's been.
So that'll be very interesting to see how they kind of do that. And guys, as we wrap this up, I just want to thank you so much for coming on, hopping on, sharing this no horsing around tailgate experience with us. This year, we're going to do our very best to invite you in to some all access stuff. I'm a season ticket holder. I'm going to try to capture some of those really cool moments and do that for you guys. I'll do everything that I can. He says, rate the Colts weapons from best to worst. JT, MP, Jay, Hines, Campbell, Morley, Cox. This will probably be the last question.
Are we both on agreement?
I don't have to talk about that. Yeah. Then I will go Michael Pittman Jr. too. I go Hines 3, Campbell 4, Mo Alley Cox on the end.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I mean, you really put them in order, Colts Blood. You made it kind of easy for us as far as that goes. There's no doubt about that. Alex Cobb. When was the last time there was this much chatter around the Colts preseason? I think we win 17 to 4. Hot rods. You got to respect the specs, my man. I mean, he's going to go out there. He's in a kicking battle. You know, Jake Verity seems like seems like he came to compete this year, and we'll just have to see how that goes. I think Hot Rod, the one thing about him is in game, he has a few lapses every once in a while. Other than that, he does really, really good. Training camp last year, he had missed a field goal in training camp. Now this year, he's missed a few already, coming off that injury from last year. I think Verity's been pretty good as well. Verity has a little bit stronger leg from what I could see down there, but that'd be interesting just to see how.
One thing I do like about Hot Rod is when he kicks the ball just goes straight. It doesn't because when you see a lot of kickers kick, it like does this little curve, comes back in. I just like that the ball just
goes straight through. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much. Like, rate, review, share, subscribe. Going over to my man JDW Sports Talk. Give him a like, give him a sub as well. And until next time, we will hop off here. What are we eating for snacks? Man, come on. It's we're drinking for snacks, brother. I mean, that's what we're drinking for snacks over here in the Boyd household. You guys can also keep this chat going after we're off here, man. That's the cool thing about it. You guys just can go back and forth and have a good chat. And until next time, till the No Horsing Around Tailgate, thank you so much. And we will be talking to you soon. Peace.